sun descends, so too does the reign of the Sawbones Society. As the premier medical practitioners of our town, the Asclepius Association will have its vengeance.
Would somebody kick him? I would, but I don't have any legs.
Oh, who knew sneaking was such an essential part of dentistry?
Oh yes, they certainly do take an interesting approach to it here, don't they?
Like the fall of the Roman Empire, if the Roman Empire were corrupt to its very core. Which I guess it kind of was, so... where was I going with this? Even you don't know! Oh, shush!
There'd be something incriminating in this place. We just had to find it and get out of here.
And at long last, we will finally bring about our ultimate revenge on the Sawbones. Shh.
Jesus, Clara, stop doing that.
Someone's in the house.
What house?
This house.
When?
Right now.
I'm sure it's just Abby faffing about. Go back to bed. Please? No.
Edward, get up.
Oh, come on, Vera. You know the rule in before 11. I am not a machine.
Clara thinks someone's in the house.
Well, you can tell them to take a number and Miss and I will deal with it in the morning.
They could be here to steal your ether.
No, been at it, boy. Come on, come on. I really gotta have a talk with Clara about the teeth.
Avert your eyes, son. There'll be ankles about.
What are we doing up at this hour? I barely get any sleep as it is.
Clara thinks someone's in the house.
Like a patient?
Doesn't matter.
It's probably the drug-addicted squirrels. I wouldn't be surprised if they spread to the rest of the house.
My money's on murderers. There's been a lot of crime in this area lately.
Denial.
I have it on good authority that Bobby the Butcher Baker just made bail.
Aw, good for Bobby.
Such a nice man, aside from the butchering.
Well, yeah, he's definitely here to slash our guts.
Wild speculation aside, Clara would feel more comfortable if we all took a look around. At 3 in the morning.
Oh, are you scared, nurse?
Terrified.
Well, don't be. I'll go with you.
Me and Vera will check upstairs.
No offense, Edward, but I'd rather be murdered than spend any time alone with you in the dark.
My assistant and I will go look around.
I'd better go with you, Alexandra. I know how nervous your assistant gets.
Midnight Blitz? Could be our last, since we're absolutely gonna get slaughtered by an acquaintance.
Oh, now you're speaking me language. Come be right, son. I want to see us.
Oh, this is most unfortunate, Dr. Kane.
Oh yes, not at all as expected, Mr. Ladnam.
Oh, should we make a run for it?
Don't worry, nurse. I'm sure it's just a wee rabbit.
Oh yes, better now than never.
Did you hear that?
I ain't deaf, am I?
Well, that's a son of a murder if ever I heard one. Quick, get behind me.
I didn't hear nothing.
I definitely heard something. Today's the day we meet our deaths.
You want me to go up there? How do you expect me to do that?
Do you hear that?
Hear what?
Hear what? What?
It sounds like breathing? Breathing?
Breathing? What breathing?
Vera, please stop repeating everything. It's very distracting. See anything?
No. I'm sure it was nothing. Clara's just a little oversensitive, that's all.
Of course. Hypersensitivity and paranoia. Classic case.
Something like that, I'm sure. Besides, why would anyone want to break in here?
No. It's not like we have anything of value that deranged people would want, like drugs, money, or weapons.
Right.
nice night.
Nice night for a hunt.
Oh, no need to worry. I'm sure no one's hunting us. No need to carry that gun for protection.
It's not for protection.
Can't go shooting off blindly into the dark, nurse. You might hit somebody.
Oh no.
I mean, think about it. Some poor person lying there with a gunshot, bleeding out for hours, watching their own intestines seep out of their body. That's no way to go, is it?
There are worse ways. Trust me.
Eddie, what if he crawled up the chimney?
Oh, that sneaky bastard.
Quinine, get up there and poke around.
You can't send him up there. He's too old for that. You go up there.
I ain't going up to get stabbed.
But you let me, boy. You're a terrible godmother.
I heard him.
Me too. Probably just the wind in the fireplace.
So he is up there.
I'm too young to get murdered. I ain't even sold pills to the Queen yet.
I can't believe I'm gonna die without getting the chance to rub in Vera's face what she was wrong.
Dad.
What? What's that? It must have been Edward and Abby. Some of the patients must have attacked them for their drugs. Oh my god, they're dead. And we're next. I always knew it when I died. It would be Edward's fault. Denial. Now is not the time!
It's just a vase. No need to panic.
Vases don't just leave off the tables. Come over here where it's safe.
Oh, maybe it's ghosts.
Oh, don't say that. I'm petrified of ghosts. Why would you say that?
Ghosts of all the patients you murdered, probably. This is all your fault.
We can't argue. It's what the ghost wants.
That sounded like it came from upstairs.
That's what Vera and I always sound about other ghosts have Bobby murdered them for sure.
Come on, Dad.
We're not. No, no. If we die, I just want you to know you're the only person in this hospital I respect.
And if we die, I want you to know I've been siphoning ether and selling it under the table.
You've been what?
It has to be around here somewhere. Oh, don't be ridiculous. Stop wasting time and help me look. Oh! Oh! Why is there teeth everywhere?
That's Quinine. The ghost of Bobby must have gotten him.
He's dead, Eddie. Remember the time you had with him and move on.
Oh no, Dad's coming to the rescue!
Don't be a hero!
Oh, don't get us started.
Oh, where's Meals on Wheels?
A little help.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
What? You're alive?
You're alive? What happened to the ghost of Bobby?
Who?
That's Quinine! Oh, Jesus! Oh my God!
I told you all he was up to no good. He's the one who's been terrorizing us all night.
Not now, Alexandra! You all right, son? Did those Howards hurt you?
So much for your concern for my life, Edward. Thank you.
I'm alright, Dad. Hi, Dr. Morphine. Dr. Aaron.
Don't play cute. Why have you been sneaking around all night?
He's been with us in the parlour.
Oh, God, this is ridiculous. We've just been walking around scaring each other.
Come on, son. Come on.
Let's find Clara and go back to bed. We've been around this whole house, and there are no intruders.
There could still be ghosts.
No ghosts, no intruders, not even any cocaine-addicted squirrels. Nurse Clariform, we have searched this entire hospital, and there are no intruders. Did you happen to see any on your little stroll?
I lost sight, but I tracked them back to the house.
I'm not going through all this again. There are no intruders.
There have to be.
I'll put the lanterns away, Dr. Morphine.
Thank you, Quinine. They just go in that room there.
Did you check everywhere?
There's nobody in here. I'm sure it was nothing, Nurse Clariform. Probably the squirrels again.
Yeah, I've gotten into the Coke. Need a refill, by the way.
Let's discuss it in the morning. Back to bed, everyone.
Well, if you're insisting.
Try it, Edward, and you'll sleep forever.
This was a complete waste of time.
Not necessarily.
He said it would be there. You said it would be there!
Still might be.
Where did we check the whole house?
There's more places to hide something than you think.
Oh my God.
You just have to look somewhere else.
This was supposed to be your grand plan and it didn't work!
It isn't over, is it?
You know, this is getting exhausting. All I want is my unrelenting revenge against the Sawbones Society for the wrongs that they've committed against me. Is that too much to ask?
Patience, and we will make them pay.
So the Beatles?
My good man, given the nature of our previous encounters, nature of your employment, and with regards to our activities, would it be still too much to assume that you don't care?
I still don't care.
Very good. Let's go, everyone. Chop chop.
But I may have to start.
So, between Quinine's pay, your ether deductible living expenses, and the time on the clock you spend actually working, it works out to a null value this month, Mr. Ether. Any objections? I like you much better in the morning, dear. You're much more agreeable.
Good morning, Edward. Vera, what would you say is the acceptable percentage of patients that escape?
None.
And how flexible are you on that number?
Not very.
Good thing it was just a hypothetical. Is Abby testing her new miracle tonic again?
No, I think we can chalk that one up to good old-fashioned intoxication. Some people should really quit drinking. What's on the schedule today?
Trepanation. I've got a new drill I'm thrilled about.
Thank you, Dr. Housen.
Speaking of, have you heard anything from him lately?
Not really, but as long as the checks get signed, I don't particularly need to speak with him.
He's a strange man.
He is a strange man. I've noticed it too. Very jumpy.
Personally, I think his inferiority complex is prohibiting him from making real and lasting relationships in his peer group. He has an inability to relate to those in the status above him and refuses to associate with those below him. I almost feel bad for him. If you're so ostracized in a professional capacity, how are you going to make lasting connections in a personal one?
Be honest. Do you understand any of what you're saying?
Doctor, give me the news.
The news is your father's a drunk and a blight on society.
Sounds like you only get the paper once a week around here.
Quinine.
Still Quinn, Dr. Harwin.
Quinine, be a dear and go check the locks on the barn for me. I'm worried we've had a few more escapes.
I told you it was a hypothetical.
That's what Abby said when she said death was a side effect for her new miracle tonic, and that mess cost me 20 pounds in bribes to fix.
Happy to, Dr. Morphine.
Hear that, Edward? Dr. Morphine. Not so hard to say, is it?
I'd better go track down my assistant and get started.
Yes, it is getting on work hours now. Have an Adam, Edward. Just because you're lying in the surgery doesn't mean you're on the clock. Come on, Edward. Time to get up. I said up. Right, well, at least crawl your way to the usual bushes. I'm not having you lie about the surgery all day. Please tell me you didn't die on the clock.
Someone alive in there?
Somebody call the doctor!
I'll get on that. What's happening? Dad?
That's for guests.
I didn't think you could overdose on ether. People take it all the time at home.
Usually it's the chloroform that gets you.
Anything can kill you, assuming you take enough of it.
How's that supposed to work?
Gastrointestinal perforation.
Do you mind?
Ruptured stomach wall.
Oh, Lord preserve us.
Not the best way to go, that's for bloody sure. Can't say I'm surprised though. Eddie had it coming.
It was only a matter of time.
What are we gonna do now?
I've had a spot dug out for him since I first met him. We can bury him this afternoon.
What are we supposed to do about his boy?
Quinine? Dunno.
Poor thing. Losing his dad must be hard at his age.
What is he, 10? That's the usual age to be orphan, isn't it?
On average.
What are we going to do with him now?
That'll be up to the boss, isn't it?
Oh, poor Dr. Morphine.
I'm surprised she ain't looted his pockets for loose change yet.
Abby.
Well, we'll have to put him for a new surgeon. Hopefully the next one's got a bit more sense.
If they did, would they be working here?
Where are you going?
Outside. Thought a walk might help.
You should keep walking. You have no business being here anymore.
Dr. Harwin, I really don't think now's the time.
Don't you dare pretend you care about him. Whatever ridiculous con you were pulling by pretending to be his son, it's over. Edward is dead. Go leave with your pockets full of his instruments if that's all you came here for. You should be ashamed of yourself. The people in that room are really grieving for someone they love. You're lucky I don't throw you out of here right now.
Why don't you then?
Because despite your obvious falsehoods, you succeeded in making him care about you. And I won't disrespect my friend by making a show of his ignorance in that.
He'd do the same for me. I left one for you.
Mr. Ether may not have been the best surgeon.
Oh, are you finished?
Yes. Anyone else?
He was always such a kind gentleman.
No, Mr. Ether's dead.
I know. He was always so nice to me. May God rest him forever in heaven.
It's going to be strange running the hospital without him. There's never been a Sawbones society without Mr. Ether.
Well, the loss of a co-worker is disappointing, but we'll muddle on.
Classic avoidance.
I'm not avoiding anything.
Leading to denial.
I'm not in denial!
And an inevitable breakdown. It's not healthy to repress your feelings, Vera.
What do you want me to say? That he was the greatest man and surgeon that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing? That I'm gonna cry myself to sleep every night thinking about all the time we could have had? That's ridiculous. None of that is true. Edward was a local drug addict and a terrible surgeon, and he cheated at chess, and his death was his own fault, and I refuse to feel bad about any of it.
Dr. Morphine.
Say something nice.
Oh, he defended me from that lying doctor.
Oi! I did that!
Mr. Ether helped.
Mr. Ether was always very optimistic.
Well, being too dumb to know better, we'll do that. No offense, Medina.
None taken.
Stop chattering. Your turn.
Me? I don't know what to say. I only knew him a little while.
Barely at all.
He was your father.
Untrue.
I do feel bad for him. He had a hard life.
He never took it out on anyone else. We can say that for him, unlike some people.
Sure, he liked Ika a little too much. You can't blame him for trying to find some peace.
Well, he's found it now.
I won't take a nap anymore. I've got a hangover like you wouldn't believe.
Edward! Edward! That's more like it!
Oh, I've had dreams like this. What's gone into you lot?
You thought you were dead, idiot!
Dead? Were you all trying to bury me? What? I mean, I can't take a nap face down on the ground without them thinking that he's gone to the divine beyond. Did anyone even take a pulse?
It's never been my strong suit.
relatively speaking, yeah.
Because I am going to kill you!
No, Vera, let's be reasonable.
Do you know what you put me through?
Oh, I didn't know you cared.
I'll put you in the ground myself, you detestable brute!
I'm still charging for this.
Women, so emotional, eh? Thanks. What's gotten into you? You're not worried about your old dad, are you? Listen, they haven't invented a drug that can kill me, and I would know. Oh, I'm sorry I scared you.
Hey, but a ticket for London.
What for? What's the smell of piss and a knife in me back? It's not worth the trip. Besides, you can't trust the women to take care of you. I'll have to stick around.
Somebody's gonna look after you.
You can't trust the women to do that either. So clearly you'll have to stick around. Well, we can get back then. What time is it?
It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4 o'clock on a Sunday isn't bad.
It's Tuesday.
It's when?
Hi everyone, I'm Brody Seguin.
And I'm Damien Hill, and we play Dr. Cole Kane and Mr. Laudanum on the Sawbones Society Season 2.
Dr. Kane and Mr. Laudanum are a pair of exceptionally polite and well-mannered dentists who like to partake in the taste of human flesh. Who were poached by Dr. Housen on their way to the Sawbones Society Hospital.
The pair met recently at a dinner for fellow humanitarians, and they bonded quickly over their shared noble profession and their taste for, shall we say, finger foods. They offered themselves as a package deal to Dr. Morphine, because who could turn down 2 enthusiastic dentists for the price of 1 competent one?
Cocaine wore a lot of different hats in 19th century medicine, and though we know its harmful effects now, back then it was really praised as a miracle drug, jack of all trades, if you will. Aside from its use as a local anesthetic, it was, ironically enough, used to treat morphine addiction in Civil War soldiers. Dr. Sigmund Freud touted it as an antidepressant and a spray to cure the common cold. And then later it became the standard remedy for sickness and fever. A Scottish magazine at one point even called cocaine a blessed... What was it? A blessed
instrument of Christ's pain-removing mission. Some high praise for cocaine.
Real high praise.
With how freely and frequently they were using cocaine, it's a wonder it took them almost a decade to start noticing its detrimental effects, and almost 2 more decades before they deemed it a controlled substance. Now, while cocaine saw a lot of use, it wasn't alone in that. Both it and laudanum could be considered the Frank's Red Hot Sauce of 19th century medicine. They just put that stuff on everything. Laudanum was a mixture of 10% opium powder mixed with alcohol, and it was used to treat everything from headaches to epilepsy, things from venomous bites to if you were coughing up blood. Even women's troubles could be whisked away with a dose of this wonderful concoction. It was even used to calm restless infants, which is a horrifying thought today, but at the time it was just a simple solution for them.
I wouldn't mind some of that now. Both cocaine and laudanum's use dwindled out near the end of the 19th century, as their adverse effects could really only fit on a CVS receipt.
Dentistry saw a massive evolution between the start and the end of the 19th century. As the technology improved, dentists shifted their focus from just removing problem teeth to repairing in them and preventing the problems from happening in the first place. And dentistry shifted away from just, if the tooth was a problem, yank it out.
With that, physicians, barbers, blacksmiths, all of them were generally the ones who would pull teeth back in the day until dentists came along. And once they came along, they began to take over tasks as well as developing a few new techniques such as removing cavities, filling root canals specifically. And dentists were also among the first medical professionals to use anesthetics, drugs, which paved the way for more complicated surgeries to be possible.
Dentists were becoming more and more skilled, but in the early 1800s, they weren't really regulated. Any old Joe Schmo could walk into town and say that he was an expert of the tooth, rather than somebody who had trained in an apprenticeship under an actual dentist.
And while a number of these were legitimately skilled practitioners, but believe it or not, who traveled from town to town to help people, there were also a number of quacks who would spend a few days in town, swindle everyone out of their money, and then jump ship, while leaving the consequences of their actions to the poor residents of said town.
In the 1830s, proper skilled dentists began a push for regulation, standardization, and certification in dentistry in order to separate themselves from those who were just swindling people out of their money. The world's first dental college opened in Baltimore in the 1840s, where you could become a doctor of dental surgery after just 2 years of study.
And with more standards of dentistry being established, it was now easier to share new information between professions as well as teach new generations these techniques. Dentistry boomed, with manual drills being replaced by foot pedal operated ones, much like a sewing machine, and agreements on different filling types for different situations, and vast improvements in the making of dentures.
So in the end, the 19th century saw a lot of improvement in dentistry, not just in their technology and their tools, but in their processes, their knowledge, their sharing of information, and vetting of potential dentists.
And without the new techniques developed by those skilled craftsmen, and the push for certification and dental practice as we know it today could have turned out very differently. It could have been very scary. And thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Dr. Kane, could you give me a hand in here?
Oh, you do know what we say. When in doubt, check the cupboard.
Oh, yes, thank you very much.
Anytime.
Yes, we've got fresh pie fresh out of the oven here.
Ooh, wonderful. It looks delicious.
It does, doesn't it? Now, when everything is said and done, we were left with the head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Oh, did we remember to save the eyes, ears, mouth, and nose?
Oh, yes, I put those in a container.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
No problem at all, Dr. Kane. Would you enjoy a slice of pie? I do hope you enjoy it. I put blood, sweat, and tears into it. More for us, I suppose.
Yes, I suppose. Would you like a drink, then?
Well, the clear absence of a no does not indicate a yes.
Very right, very right. They always say these sausages are 7 inches, but they never quite seem as big.
Yes, they always tend to overestimate the size of those, don't they?
It's a real shame.
What? Is that your breath, Dr. Kane?
Oh, yes, I use this wonderful new product. It's called Mentos.
Oh, those sound lovely. I'll have to try them sometime.
Yes, quite tasty too.
Have you ever tried